take a quick look at e-safety. We're probably going to need a little bit more time on this, but I'll give you some of the headlines and just talk you through some things that you need to be aware of. So these are slides from our induction day earlier in the year, and I'm going to talk about your responsibilities, online dangers, and how to report any e-safety incidents. So first message is about social media. So I'm going to hazard a guess that the vast majority of you have got some sort of social media account, whatever that might be. So please think carefully now that you are in the teaching profession about what you post there, because anything that you post is not just a reflection on yourself, but it's a reflection on the school and the profession and things like that. And make sure that you have your privacy settings enabled so that students can't find you and have a look at the types of things that you post and or comment, things like that. And under no circumstances should you befriend any student. And if you happen to know students at the school that you're currently friends with, we would appreciate it if you would just sort of tactfully say to them, I'm going to have to remove you from my social network until I'm no longer at the school. All of this has just been professional. We don't really want students seeing your private life and personal posts and things like that. And I'm sure you don't either. Exactly the same thing applies to online games, email, messaging, anything like that where you could be in communication with students or even parents. We'd strongly advise that you're not in contact with parents as well. So here's a summary of your responsibilities. Now, I know there's a big list here, and we'll hopefully have some time to go through this in a bit more detail, but most of it is common sense. So act professionally at all times when using ICT. So we've mentioned some of these things already here. The other ones that we've not mentioned are don't access anything illegal or inappropriate using ICT. Be careful about opening email attachments in school in case you get viruses on the school network or something like that. Sensitive data. You will have some data while you're in the school that is quite personal to students and sensitive. So things like you could have access to their address. Potentially you could know whether they're on the SEN register, whether they're pupil premium and they get free school meals. You might know their reading ages, exam grades, whatever it is. Okay, this is all personal information from those students. So we need to keep that private. Okay, only we should know that information. So some key things to make sure that you do that. Make sure that you keep your password to the computer private so no one else can log on with yours. Make sure that you lock it or log off when you're not using it. If you press Control, Alt and Delete, you can lock a school computer, which means no one else can use it until you put your password back in. Don't carry any sensitive information about students on a pen drive. Technically, you can do it if you encrypt it, but I would just advise against it completely. If you use a mobile phone or a personal tablet or something like that to access school emails, can you please make sure you've got a PIN code on it so that nobody else can see those emails? And don't allow any students under any circumstances to use your school account. We should not be letting them, even if they haven't got a login, they've forgotten it, whatever it is, we don't let them use our school account. If you come across anything that you think is an issue, you need to report it as soon as possible. So students bullying each other using technology, a student who you think might be contacted by somebody from outside of school and you think they might be in some sort of danger, something that you've overheard, those things need to be passed on. Now, the normal route for doing that is either through CPOMs or Help Desk, which are both on Frog. Sorry, not Help Desk. Help Desks for reporting faults. It's through Behaviour Tracker or CPOMs on Frog. However, in your case, I would suggest that you talk to your mentor before you pass anything on. They'll probably be the one who does the passing on your behalf, or the classroom teacher for a particular group if your mentor's not around or available and you need to report something quickly. So what kind of dangers can students be exposed to? Well, there are lots of them. I'll just give you a whistle-stop tour. So it could be that they get things like spam, or they see something that's aggressive or hateful. Might be in an email, might be something that they come across online. Could be pornographic material, could be something that's biased or racist or misleading advice. So they're the types of things that students can be exposed to. Hopefully not in school because we've got filters in place, but occasionally things will get through filters and we can't filter things at home. So you might hear about some of these things and think that's something I should really pass on so somebody can follow it up. Contact. This is where people are trying to either bully or harass or groom students, things like that. Maybe somebody's got in touch with a student through social media and they're trying to arrange to meet up with them or something like that. It could be that they're going to do them harm or something like that. So you need to just keep your ears to the ground, and if you hear anything that you think is a little bit untoward, then pass it on. Conduct. Students can be the ones doing these things. They might be bullying other people. They might be taking part in illegal downloading, gambling, even terrorism. We'd hope not, but you never know. Creating, uploading inappropriate material, giving bad advice to other people. So we have a duty in those cases to tackle it as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the types of things that you're looking out for. And you might not come across any of these things, but if you do, just pass it on as quickly as you can. We have an acceptable use policy, which you will be asked to sign. You can do that by going to Frog, and you can go to the policies page. So basically, on Frog here, if I just load that up, the second little dot along here, there is a link to safeguarding policies. And if you click on the key policies here, you just need to find the ICT one, or online safety one, sorry, this one here. And you need to make sure that you've read that and you've ticked that little box. You can see here I've got one that I've not read at the moment, which is a new one that's out, and I need to read that and tick that box. So you'll need to do that with the online safety policy. If I just go back to here, I'll just check there's nothing else. I think that's probably enough for now on online safety. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of your responsibilities and also what to do if you think there's any issues with students.